Now, there's a reason why we did 3-1 before this section. And here's the reason. Before we can solve or isolate the variable, we need to simplify first. And simplify meant two things. Step 1, remove what? Parentheses, if there are any. And step 2, combine like terms. Good. Two very simple ideas that we practiced in 3-1. Because when we see solve, the first thing we're going to want to do is isolate the variable, right? But before you do that, simplify. So y and subtracting 5 are not like terms, but -2 minus 6 more, those are like terms. I'll give you 15 seconds to combine them. So -2 minus 6, or -2 plus a -6, either way it's -8. Good. Once I simplify, then I go ahead and isolate. Who do I want to isolate? Y. Who is getting in the way? Subtract 5. How do I undo subtract 5? Add 5. Add 5. On the left side, what is -5 and +5? It's 0, right? And 0 and y is just y, which is why we do this. All right, so to combine terms here, they're like terms, aren't they? And so I get what? -4y. Good. So we simplify first, and then we isolate. Who do I want to isolate? Y. Who do I want to get rid of? -4. How is it attached? Multiplication. So how do I undo multiplication? Divide. Left-hand side, stay with me. What is -4 over -4? 1. What is 1 times y? Y. We have 1 times y there. We are not canceling. Right-hand side, what's the positive times negative? Negative, and 12 divided by 4? 3. Good. In examples 3 and 4, do them both by first simplifying. And then continuing. I will do this with you in a couple of minutes. On the left-hand side, we're in example 3, z over -4 is already simplified, right? But the right-hand side, what is 11 minus 5? 6. Okay, so that's simplifying. Let me jump over to example 4 and simplify that as well. What is 5x minus 4x? X. Who else is just going to sit there with the x? Plus 2. And on the right-hand side, I can simplify these like terms. What is 7 minus 19? -12. Good. And so simplify first, right? Then on the left side, we want to isolate the z. Who do I want to get rid of? -4. How is the -4 attached? Division. How do I undo division? Multiply. multiply what? Negative 4 multiply negative 4. What is negative 4 over negative 4? 1. What is 1 times z? That's how the z gets by itself. On the right-hand side, what's a positive times a negative? And 6 times 4. In example 4, who do I want to isolate? X. Who do I need to get rid of? How is the 2 attached? How do I undo addition? Subtract. On the left-hand side, who's left? That's why I did it to isolate, right? If I go negative 12, and I go to the left 2 more, think number line, where am I? Good. In example 5, 8x minus 9x is what? Negative x or negative 1x. And 12 minus 17 is negative 5. Good. Now, you have 2 options here. I kind of like the following option. I don't want negative x. I want what? Positive x. What if I multiply both sides by negative 1? Did I do the same thing to both sides? Okay. And what happens when I have a negative times a negative? Positive. And what's 1 times x? Now some people are going to want to divide both sides by negative 1, and that's fine. But I think division is a little harder than multiplication. I'd rather multiply. On the right-hand side, what do we get? 5. In example 6, we have 2 things when we simplify. What was the first thing again that we wrote at the beginning? Remove parentheses. And to do that, we distribute. And we get 9x minus 15 equals 10x. I have x's on both sides. I only want them on one side. Which side has more of the x's? The right side, the 10x. So I want the x's on that side. It makes life easier, trust me. So I don't want them on the left side. How do I get rid of 9x? Subtract 9x, subtract 9x. Let's do the right side first. What is 10 apples minus 9 apples? 1x. Woohoo! It's already isolated. Who's left on the left-hand side? Careful. There's a negative with that 15. In 7, is there anything to simplify? No. Now, I have to deal with what? Subtraction and what? Multiplication. Now, here is our strategy. Which one is a stronger operation? Multiplication or subtraction? Multiplication. When you attack an enemy, you attack at the weakest link first, right? So I'm going to deal with the subtraction first. How do I undo subtracting 6? Add 6, add 6. Who's left on the left-hand side? 2x. What do we have on the right side? 24. Is the x slowly being isolated? Yeah. How do I finish the isolation step? Divide by 2, divide by 2. And x is 12. Too many students are cancel happy. And they're going to want to divide by 2 first. I show you this to give you a reason why we would not. Okay? Alrighty. Let's start simplifying. We have some like terms here. What do I get? -4. We have some parentheses here. What do I get? -5x minus 20. Okay, and that minus 39 just waits its turn, right? I still have some like terms here to simplify. I'll copy this. I'll copy this. And what is -20 minus 39 more? -59, right? Now that we've done all the simplifying, let's start to isolate the. Do I attack the -5 or the -59? Good. How? Add 59. Very good. So I'll do the right side. I'm so helpful. You do the left side. 55. I almost have the x isolated. Who do I need to get rid of? How is it attached? How do I undo it? Divide. Who do I divide? Okay. Right-hand side, I'll do that for you. It's x. Left-hand side, is it positive or negative? Negative what? Good job.